And my whole family, like both my parents are from Colombia, South America. Again, it goes all with just trauma and how trauma can just affect your mental state in such a negative way. My family and I, we lived in a refugee camp out in Finland. And in these camps, it was still a building that was just filled with a bunch of refugees, it just brought different types of people in and out. And unfortunately, I was just, I guess, at the wrong place at the wrong time. And one night they're like, hey, why don't you come out with us and we can, let's just go out, we can go out and enjoy the festival. We can drink, whatever. And I'm like, cool, I want to be part of the guys. Why not, Next thing I know, it's kind of like, when you blink, like you close and it's dark and you open up. Yeah. And imagine you're blinking, like you open up and you're in a whole different spot every time. Honestly, sounds cliche, but truly believe in yourself. It's okay to doubt yourself, of course, but just don't give up. And if you're fighting depression and if you're fighting anxiety, just know you can overcome it. You're not alone. And those demons that do try to help you sink, just know you're a lot stronger than them.
Ya me partiste el corazón. Vente por ese callejón. Yo soy muy fuerte y sal adelante como siempre. Yo te odio. No me llames cuando tú quieras, ya me cansé. Voy a cuidar mi corazón para cuando venga otra como yo y levante mi honor. En mi calme todo este dolor. Me gustaría ser feliz para sacarte ya de mí.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of C-Rod's Tell Me a Story podcast. I'm your host, C-Rod. Let me tell you a story. Today, I want to begin by pondering the question, what truly defines a survivor? Upon researching this definition, I found that it's simply put as a person who manages to endure. But is mere survival enough to earn the title of survivor? Each day, individuals battle the aftermaths of traumas that have inflicted mental scars, leading them to navigate the shadows of isolation and estrangement from society. Some persist in unfulfilling 9-to-5 jobs, struggling to make ends meet, haunted by the confidence that was robbed from them in their youth. Such perseverance is undoubtedly survival, but does it encapsulate the essence of being a survivor? One of my favorite DMX songs starts off with the lines, "To live is to suffer, and to survive, well, that is to find meaning in suffering." This tells us not only to endure our traumas, but to transcend them, to evolve into survivors who embrace their adversities that have shaped them to who they are today. We all bask under the same sunrise and bid farewell under identical sunsets. Let us remember to withhold judgment and to keep our hearts open should we encounter someone struggling to find their purpose. Be the beacon that guides them through the darkness where their vision falters. Just as a rose blooms within the concrete, some individuals unearth the light within themselves, while the rest of us are privileged to witness the transformation. Similar sentiments can be extended to the protagonist of today's story. After being born in Seattle, Washington, she found herself in Colombia through the struggles of her father at the age of 1. While her memories are vague of this time, the few memories she retained are filled with unfortune. Subsequently, she found herself in a refugee camp in Finland. Here, she would endure unspeakable horrors that no child should endure, leaving her with a speech impediment. From there, she found herself in Illinois, where she found comfort in what would be some of her fondest memories. However, adversity would show their face once more when her father became ill, forcing their relocation to Denver, Colorado, as they could no longer afford their home. It is here where her affinity for music blossomed. Her soul resonating with diverse sounds and melodies, her unique rhythm and captivating hooks have established her to be one of the most sought-out artists in the city today. She epitomizes the essence of resilience and fortitude, embodying the true spirit of a survivor. It is with my great privilege and admiration to introduce today's guest, the Latin artist known as TELLY. All right, back at you with another episode of C-Rod's Tell Me Your Story podcast. I'm your host, C-Rod, and I'm with you with my guest today, TELLY.
What's good?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. I feel great. Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you replied. I couldn't reply to you at first. I messaged you in the comment, but I don't think you saw it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I put in your comments. Yo, I can't reply. I was like, she's gonna think I'm crazy.
Oh, I do. I think I do remember that. I think so. I
thought you were gonna think I'm some crazy person.
No, not at all. No.
But Telly is an up and coming artist here out of Denver. She does Latin music. She also does rap music. She's very versatile. She sings, she raps, dance, everything. She's very, very good. All right.
Thank you.
So I invited her in here to sit down and talk to me. You know how we do it. This is the People's Podcast. This platform is for us to hear each other's stories, each other's backgrounds, so we could all, come together and maybe make it the world a better place. I don't know. We'll see. But if we all understand why people believe what they believe, maybe we could help us understand one another. So that's why I do what we do. And and one more thing, because I always forget. I always say this at the end, because I can't stand the whole YouTube thing. You like and subscribe. I always forget. But I have to say it. So like and subscribe. Make sure you follow. If you like content like this, you want to hear people's real life content. We don't just talk to people who are faking the funk, or certain people, celebrities who uphold a certain image. We talk to real people who are going to bring you real events, real stories that you can relate to. So if you like content like that, make sure you smash the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell, like, all that good stuff. And here we go. So
let's do it. Yeah.
Where you from?
Man, so I'm from all over the place, but I call Denver my home because I've been here for about 16 years. I was born in Seattle, Washington, and I was there for 1 year. And my whole family, both my parents are from Colombia, South America. So after that 1 year, we moved back to Colombia, and from there I moved to Finland. And from Finland, I moved to Illinois to Colorado.
Wow.
Yeah, I moved around a lot.
You wouldn't expect to see a Colombian in Finland.
No, not at all.
How old were you in Finland?
I was 6 years old.
Oh, so you can remember it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had a lot of traumatic events happen to me in Finland. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But I was 4 in Colombia, and then I was about 5 to 6 in Finland, and I lived in Illinois for about 7 years, and I moved out here when I was 14.
Wow. So you bounced around all over the place. Huh?
I did.
So you were born here though,
in the States,
then they decided to move back to Colombia. So you had your citizenship off the top then, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
So you had to fight to come back.
No, yeah. I was just like, all right, well, I guess we're going where we're going.
Yeah. Then so what was it like in Colombia? Do you remember that?
Oh, man. Small. I was tiny, but I do have some small memories from there. It's kind of hard to explain. So the memories that I have from Colombia is just more traumatic things. Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah.
Well, before we get into that, why don't you tell me, it will kind of help us.
Yeah.
Tell me about your parents.
Oh, wow. No one's asked me that. Yeah. Yeah. So, my parents, again, they were both born in Colombia. They're still together till this day. I actually just got done seeing my mom at the hospital. My mom is fighting stage 4 colon cancer.
No,
she's been fighting that since 2021, and she just had surgery this morning to get this new, which is it's crazy. It's this new device that is kind of called the pain pump, and a lot of cancer patients usually get this, and so what they put is it's like a big device that you just put right here in your abdomen, and it's like a catheter connected from that device, and it goes down to your spinal cord. And the way that it works, the doctor can uses a phone almost, and it does something with the medication, but he does something on the phone, and it puts the medication in her spine whenever he
to help her with the pain.
Yes, it is crazy. Today was my first time hearing that. Yeah. So my mom's fighting stage 4 cancer right now. My father, he's around. My dad, he's my dad. I love my dad. I love my mom too, but my father and I, we've always kind of struggled in our relationship. Yeah. It's crazy that I'm here because I had a very emotional day today.
Did
so
you
if
really?
I shed some tears, I'm sorry. I saw that when I walked in. I was like, thank God. Yeah, no, I just, That's why, like, I texted you. I was like, I would love to talk about mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, give me 1 sec.
It's okay. Yeah, I understand. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad, you could feel free to use this moment to get anything off. And a lot of people, after we sit down and we have our conversation, when we leave and we turn off the cameras, they always tell me that it helped them. They're like, they always tell me, like, man, I've never reflected my life. Whether it helps some get stuff off their chest, or I had one of them tell me, you've probably maybe seen it. He's a wrestler, and he played college football. He played 7 years arena football, and he became a professional wrestler. He also did jiu-jitsu and MMA. And when I said it back to him, and after we talked, he went, wow.
Yeah.
He didn't realize his life.
Wow. Yeah.
So when you talk about your life and what you're about to do, it'll help you. So whatever you say, it's going to help you, but it's also going to help the person listening. Yeah,
most definitely. I believe things happen for a reason, and sometimes you're in a moment for the exact reason. Like, I don't know, just when I got here, I just, like, really was sitting down. Like I said, I just had a very emotional day. And I don't know, I just kind of felt like
tell me about it.
Oh, man. I won't get too detailed, but I just, one, my mom, and then two, I was telling my partner, I was just telling her a story of my past, of why a friend relationship was ruined. And it goes all with just trauma, and how trauma can just affect your mental state in such a negative way. And I've ruined so many close relationships. Like, I miss my old friends, but I've ruined it in so many ways of just being so selfish. And God, I'm so emotional. Jesus, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, no, I said, trauma's really affected my life tremendously, and I'm grateful that I've had music to really help me not focus on the negative things in life, I guess you could say. But just some things like that popped off today, and it just brought back some other, like, feelings and memories, and that's really it. Yeah,
it's probably really tough dealing with your mom with cancer, huh?
It is. It truly is. It is. It's not easy, but she was in good spirit today, so
Yeah, well, that's good. And she stays here in Denver, and both your parents?
Yeah. So they live out in Commerce, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the newer side of Commerce, so, like, next to Brighton and stuff. But yeah, thankfully my immediate family is here. I have an older sister who has kids, and
How many siblings do you have?
Just one.
Just one? So you have nieces and nephews and stuff?
3 nephews. Yeah. She had 3 boys, so.
You love your nephews? And
I do love my nephews. I love them very much, very, very much, yeah.
Yeah, I know what it's like. I have a niece. I love her like she's my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when she just had a baby, and she bring her baby daddy over here to talk to me. I had to grill him like a dad and stuff. So I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you end up going to Colombia, and you're in Colombia, and you say you had some trauma and some stuff like that. Do you remember Colombia, like stuff like that?
I do. Like I said, I get bits and pieces. There's a few memories that I have, but it's just mostly like things that terrified me as a child, and that's really honestly most of the memory that I have. And it's unfortunate that as a child you truly do sometimes just remember more of the negative things than the positives, especially if it impacts your brain chemistry. You feel me? It's different. And those are literally the only memories I have of Colombia and Finland. But my happy memories, I do have some in Illinois, and then of course once I got older in Colorado. But yeah.
So things start. Do you mind me asking what kind of trauma?
No, yeah. So when I was in Finland, I unfortunately was molested and raped. My family and we lived in a refugee camp out in Finland, and in these camps, it was still a building that was just filled with a bunch of refugees. It just brought different types of people in and out, and unfortunately, I was just, I guess, at the wrong place at the wrong time. And yeah, I was taken advantage. I was about 6 years old. And those memories really impacted my whole childhood life. Like, when we came to Illinois, I used to speak so much Spanish when I was a child. And for some reason, of course, granted, once you come to America, of course, you're gonna speak more English. And you would kind of think like, oh, maybe that's why you forgot Spanish. But like the trauma really caused something in my brain chemistry to like almost forget a whole language that I had. And I also started to develop like a speech impediment. And it was,
wow.
Yeah. It was
trying to black it out.
Yeah. And I didn't understand it as a child. And honestly, I tried blocking everything out until one time I was about 14, 15 years old. And I was in the shower. And so I was already here in Colorado. I was in the shower, and where I got assaulted was in a bathroom. And so I was in the shower, just whatever, washing my hair. And then boom, I just got like a huge like PTSD, like an episode of just like, imagine you're just sitting here and you're watching a movie, and you're just like watching a movie silently. And that's what happened. I just started remembering everything.
Hitting you the memories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, that was probably terrifying.
Yeah, it was something. Sorry, I'm just like.
It's okay. Take your time.
Shaky.
Yeah. Especially if it's something you don't talk about every day.
No, not at all. No, but I think it's good to talk about things like this because I know a lot of people probably have a similar story.
Very much so.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Was it somebody you knew or just a stranger?
So in Finland, I would hang out with this. So I was 6, and I would hang out with this 9-year-old girl. And I just recently actually found out about a year ago that this 9-year-old girl, my parents told me, she had an older brother. And so the only memory I have is so me and this 9-year-old girl, we would play that we were married. So she would also do things to me, and I think things were happening to her now that I'm older. You do what happened, you know what I mean? She
was doing what was happening to her, for sure.
And in one memory I have of in the bathroom is a male who I could never picture his face. All I see is a shadow. Till this day, I still see a shadow. And it was about almost a year ago, when I was talking to my family about it. My mom told me that she had an older brother, and she thinks that it was probably the older brother. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't even know.
You blocked it out so much, you just see a shadow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry.
I appreciate that.
But it's all right because you're still here.
Yeah.
What don't break you, don't kill you, make you better.
Very true. And unfortunately, I really believe in when a door is open like that, let's say what trauma is open like that, it almost repeats itself. And unfortunately, it did repeat itself when I was 25.
Again?
At a workplace, yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy, but...
What happened?
I used to work for this company called United Site Services, which was a porta potty company. And this was in 2018. And this company is really big from state to state. And so I don't know if you ever heard of the event Burning Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody ran into the fire one year.
The whole event is very demonic, I think. It's very wild. But I was asked to travel out there for work because there's going to be, it's just that company has a bunch of porta potties, and they also like fill up water tanks for RVs and stuff. So they're like, yeah, we asked people from different states to go. Would you like to go? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Why not? So I'm going to Burning Man for free. That's so cool,
Yeah.
Because at the time, I'm like a huge festival goer. So I was like, hell yeah, that's dope.
That's a big festival.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's dope. Only the rich go, really, if I'm being honest. So I was like, for sure. So I get there, and the majority of employees are males. So I'm thinking they probably have like 100 plus of employees there. And it's me and maybe like 5 women. And I'm like being 100% serious. And so they put all the women in one RV, and then the rest, like to where we sleep, and then the rest are just in other RVs they're sharing. So I'm supposed to be there for 7 days. I believe it was 7 days. And so every time during the day we would work, we would either clean porta potties or you would be assigned to go fill up the water tanks in RVs. And thankfully that was my job. And I was like, cool, like when you fill up the water tanks, you get a lot of tips. And again, Burning Man, it's the rich go. Like people that got money go. There's even famous people go. Kim Kardashian has gone before. The Victoria's Secret models are there. And Burning Man is just a festival where you just go at a really open space somewhere in Nevada. It's just like dirt, and people bring wood to build. Like you build places, like you build a bar, you build your little stay, and at the end of this event, everyone in the festival burns a Burning Man, and everyone's naked. It's all about sex, drugs, literally. I swear to God,
wow.
That's what this whole event is about. And so we would work our shift, and once the shift is over, which I believe was usually 4 to 5 p.m., you could drink. And in the campsite of the work campsite, they had alcohol, but you couldn't open it until the shift was over. So it was about my 3rd day there that I was there. I made friends with a few guys and all this stuff. And one night they're like, hey, why don't you come out with us and we can, let's just go out, we can go out and enjoy the festival. We can drink, whatever. And I'm like, cool, I want to be part of the guys. Why not? It is what it is. So after all of our shifts, they called this, those bars that you can sit and you pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's these people that they called over and we all got on it and we were all drinking. Some of these drinks, I think, were infused with something. And there's this guy that was who I thought was my homie. He I don't know exactly what he did. Either he mixed my drinks with something or someone mixed something in my drink, and I was roofied. I was very belligerent from what people were saying. Next thing I know, it's kind of like, when you blink, you close and it's dark and you open up.
Yeah.
And imagine you're blinking, you open up and you're in a whole different spot every time.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you blink, why am I upstairs? Oh, why am I outside? That's how it felt.
He had you drugged.
And in those time frames, what I would see, unfortunately, at one point, it was him raping me. And the next morning, when I woke up, I just, oh my God, it was one of the weird, the way my body felt was, I've never felt it before. And granted, I have used drugs in my lifetime before. In my early 20s, I did use a lot of drugs. So I know how I feel when when I wake up from something.
Hungover and achy and
very
groggy.
Very different, yeah. Yeah. I couldn't even walk straight, even when I woke up. And I remember I got in my truck with the male that I kept working with the whole time, and I was just quiet, and I didn't have my phone. And I remember the last time I saw my phone was somewhere in this dirt, whatever, and I told him, I was like, can you take me over there? And where he took me.
Is this the same dude?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is someone else. No, this is someone else. I never saw him again until from the last time that I saw him that night. And then at the time, my case had a Dragon Ball Z case. I had Goku on there with I think it was the blue hair. And I remember my phone was sitting up just perfectly, and I thought I lost my phone. I remember when we pulled up, and mind you, this is in a whole dirt. It would be near impossible to find anything, right? And my phone is just sitting right up on this sand dirt looking, and I just see my case and I grab it. And after I grab my phone,
start coming back?
Everything. And I just start bawling. And I tell the guy, this feels nice talking about this. I've only told people who I'm very close to this story, this detailed story.
Thank you.
As detailed as I'm getting right now. And I remember telling this guy, I need to go back and I need to talk to the leaders. And I went back and told them everything, and the cops came and they took me out quickly. They took me out And then wherever this Burning Man event is, it's like a 4-hour drive from Vegas. So, yeah, they drove me out, and I was supposed to fly out that same day, but the cops told me that I had to stay that night and go to one of those rape units to get myself checked completely.
Yeah.
In order to get this case going, and I did all that, and oh god, that experience was wild.
Did they press charges on him?
So that case is still open till this day. The last details I got from that was in 2018. The officer, whoever is in charge of La Playa, which that's what they call over there, he told me that I was 100% going to win this case because once the cops got there and they questioned him, he told the cops that we didn't have any sexual intercourse. But when they interviewed other people, he was gloating about it all. He was gloating.
What a piece of shit.
That right there, really, that one fucks me up a little bit. It's like, how do you gloat about something like that? That's crazy.
Well, some people are just pieces of shit, and they'll never be nothing else but a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I can't. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you shared that, because there's going to be a young lady who might be on a drinking, peddling bar one day, and she might hear your story and maybe be a little bit more cautious about who's around her.
I hope so, yeah, I hope so. It's unfortunate that a woman who is very openly gay too, and at the time I was engaged.
What a piece of shit too.
And I had my ring and everything. Can't go out and just enjoy a night and just to feel like you're one of the homies or one of the guys without having a traumatic event happen to you.
Without one of the guys being a douchebag.
Yeah, it's sad, but
well, you can. You just got to be around the right guys.
It's so like, how do you know? How do you know though? Even when you think they're right.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't know. You always hear like, so and so, he did? Oh, I never thought he would do that. It's always the ones that you never think.
And it's sad because he had 2 daughters. He has 2 daughters.
Really?
The night before, he showed me a photo too. Yeah, it's crazy. He showed me, he had him on their wallpaper, as his wallpaper.
I hate to say it, I hope he goes to jail.
I don't know what's going on with him.
I hope he goes to jail, because it's not right. Women shouldn't have to. I have 3 daughters myself. And I think about it, stuff like that, all the time. My oldest is going to college here pretty soon.
Nice.
Stuff like that. When you're in college is when you experience with drinking and drugs and being around people. And unfortunately, in society, women can be vulnerable in those situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not every guy is a stand-up guy.
No.
And, they want to prey on innocent people like that. And I just hope that, that story can impact someone to make the right choices.
Yeah.
When they get put in that situation. But I think you're super brave for going through the cops and staying that extra day and doing the kit and coming forward, because another thing is a lot of women go through that and they don't report it. And I think it's very brave, because you probably felt shame and guilt and all those things. But I feel
like it was my fault for a very long time.
But I'm here to tell you that, and you can look at me when I tell you this, that was not your fault.
I appreciate that.
That was his fault. That was his lust and his messed up brain. You were the victim in that. And God bless that you're still here.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But let's move on from that, because I don't want to bring you down too much.
No, you're good. I appreciate that, man. You're good. Oh, man.
So then you're in Finland, and, you come to Illinois. What part of Illinois?
I lived in Springfield, Illinois.
Oh, small? Is that small?
It's like it's like Springfield and Rochester. Rochester's like a little town. Springfield is about 3 hours away from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I lived there for 7 years. Very country. I was like the second non-Caucasian student.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was school. The school life was all right. But the neighborhood I lived in, I loved. Yeah, those are one of the best childhood memories I have.
Yeah, what did you love about it?
Oh man, my friends. It was literally like the suburban lifestyle. You get your bikes, you go out, you hang out.
No crime, everybody's
No,
nice.
it was great. It was one of the best memories I have for sure.
Oh yeah. Did
Yeah.
you have friends
I
that you
did.
still talk to over there, or?
No, I mean, there's one guy that I'll speak to like here and there. Like he actually lives in Colorado, which is so funny. But no, yeah, it was one of the best memories I had. It's literally like the lifestyle that you see on movies, where you just are riding bikes before technology, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I tell my kids. And I say, you're lucky y'all live in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, it was almost like this. Yeah.
They hear all about my traumatic trauma all the time. I'm like, oh, God damn it.
You're like, dang,
Get that shit together.
Yeah, no, it is kind of like that. Yeah, where it's safe to like go out and you're okay, you know.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
So how was what made y'all move to Denver?
So my father got hepatitis C. He got very sick, so he couldn't work. And with that, we ended up losing the house that we were living in. And so I have cousins out here. And my parents were like, hey, why don't we move to Colorado? I was like, all right, cool. So I'm going with you. I'm only 14, so let's go.
Ain't got nowhere else to go.
Right. So yeah, that's why we moved out here, and we've been here since then.
You want to hear? So I'm like 12, 15 years older than you. So when I was growing up, this is going to sound funny, but it was quite normal. My parents came to me kind of the same. We were living in outside of Corpus Christi, Texas. And they said, hey, we're moving to San Antonio. I mean, I was like you. I was 15, 16. Yeah. All right. And they're like, no, we're moving to San Antonio. You need to find somewhere to stay.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So it was like similar to you, but
no, my parents took me with them.
They're like, you can't come.
What? So what did you do?
I got a job and I got my own place.
You were 15?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your parents just left you like that?
Yeah.
Dang, man.
I might have been turning 16.
Jeez.
And it sounds crazy, like I said, but in that generation, it was quite normal for a 16-year-old to have his own place and car and be working.
Were you living here?
No, I grew up in South Texas and Kentucky.
South Texas. Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Jeez. How'd that make you feel?
I have my trauma just like you. So I could say this now that I'm older.
Yeah.
When you're young, it's hard to see the bigger picture and to forgive people for the mistakes that they made. But when you get older and you start seeing the situation, or you talk to people like we're talking and you understand the background, then maybe you might forgive people but you can move forward from it. You know, so
I'm kind of learning that right now.
Yeah, so very much so. And I'll give you an example of a mistake that I made, and it goes with this. I talk about him all the time on all my podcasts. My dad, he just passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He died maybe a year ago, or maybe a little less than a year ago. And we grew up, like I said, they abandoned me many times and stayed homeless. He was real abusive and a lot of bad stuff, you know. And when we got older, he humbled down. I make a joke with my kids. They say, your Popo is so nice. I say, well, he was nice because he wasted all his anger and mean on me. You know what I mean? And he had none left. But when I was getting older, I couldn't forgive my parents for what they did to me. And any little thing that they would do, I would hold it against them. And I probably went 10, 15 years without talking to my parents. And then I started talking to them, and then we got in an argument, and then I probably went another 10 years. So like in the last 20 years before my dad passed away, I probably only spent 2 or 3 of those years with him. And, you know, that was a mistake that I made for not forgiving him and moving forward with, and it's a regret that I have.
I was going to ask you, is that something you...
I regret it traumatically. I can remember the day. So I went like 5 years, 6 years without talking to him. We used to live with him down the road here, and we got in a big argument. And just long story short, I went 6 years without talking to him, and my mom had a heart attack. So they lived in Ohio, so I flew to Ohio to go see them. And I didn't tell nobody I was coming because I hadn't seen them in so long. It was kind of awkward, So I will pull up to their house, and I remember I didn't go to the door. I banged on his window, and he came outside like, "Who the fuck's banging on my window?"
Right.
And he saw him.
Your senses.
Yeah, and
gosh.
but I hadn't talked to him in like 5 years.
Yeah.
And he comes around the corner, and he starts to do these little faces and stuff. And he was like, saw me point. He was like, he pointed at me, started crying and stuff. And he told me, I thought I really messed up that time. I thought I really messed up, and he apologized to me.
Wow.
And I apologized to him, and we stayed close until the day he died.
Oh.
Not to get too much into my story.
No, does your father have trauma too?
He did, yeah.
It's an ongoing circle.
It gets it's weird. So when I hear my parents, so I can tell you, I talk about my kids, the shit that happened to me,
sure,
and it sounds crazy to them. Well, they used to tell me the same thing. Like my dad used to drink out of a creek and stuff like that. He was never taken care of. He was we had water hoses. We used to drink out the water hose. He wasn't allowed to touch that. He had to drink out of a creek. He slept in barns with the animals and all that stuff. So I believe that it gets passed down. It gets passed down. It's just up to someone to be the change. The change into that system instead of passing it down to your family. You could have kids, and if one day if you have kids, you don't want to pass down the trauma that you felt. You know how it feels.
Yeah.
And something that you should have, and something that I try to breed in children, is confidence. If you don't have confidence, your life is very bad. And when you have traumatic events like what happened to you, something that you could really lose is your confidence.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Oh, no, you're 100% correct.
So that's why I always say, since I've been talking to you, I tell you how good you are. It's just because you are good. And I didn't know your personal story, but I know that feeding people's confidence and showing people how good they are when maybe they don't know it is something I always try to do.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So that after my rant, thank you for listening to my rant. So when you came to Denver with your cousins, is that when you got into music, or?
So I've always had a love for music. What I was telling you, how I had like a speech impediment, like I had a hard time just expressing anything.
Yeah. What kind of impediment was just?
I would just stutter a lot, and I just couldn't get words out. And wow. I remember when we first moved to Illinois, I was in like speech therapy in school and all that stuff. Until this day, I still have like a stuttering issue. Not like super intense, but like sometimes I'll get just stuck on a word and I'll have to stop talking. And I'll be like, oh, okay, let me get my thought process again. But with that, like I felt with sound would really, I felt like I could express it through sound. Like, so I played the clarinet a lot when I was younger. I was in band, and I just loved music. I like how I do now. I just love how you can express yourself through lyrics, but also just sound. Sound to me is what's really special. Like when I listen to any song I hear, I'm not really fully, it's interesting. I don't really listen to the lyrics as much. I listen to how the vocal sounds and like the beat sounds, and that to me is beautiful.
How it goes with the music.
Yeah, the melodies. The melodies is really what hits me. And some people be like, oh yeah, like so with my friends, like I'll be like, I don't even know my own lyrics sometimes because I'm not listening to my own lyrics. I'm really listening to the melody I'm throwing out. And I think that's why my hooks are really catchy, because of the melody that's behind my lyrics, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
You do have, I do what you're saying. You do have very catchy hooks and melody to it.
Yeah, and like
I need a hero.
You heard that one?
Girl, I've been studying you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
All right, back at you from our break. Before we left right there, you were telling me about sounds and about your hooks. Yeah, I've been digging that. I like that. I need a hero. What made you think of that one? Just the sounds?
I'll go through a bunch of beats. Whatever catches my attention, I'll I'll start to listen to it, and then I always start off writing my whole song with melodies. Like I'll get my hook ready, and I'll get my verse. So I'll just be like, no, doing what I got to do, and then it's crazy. The hardest part for me is writing lyrics. And again, that goes with words.
So you just got all the sounds, and then you go and put the words.
Oh man, but that's such a pain in my. Oh my gosh, I'm always like, shit, man. I wish I could it just came easily. I wish I could freestyle all this.
Do you not freestyle? I think I've seen you freestyle before.
I don't freestyle. I do not freestyle.
No, I think I've seen you rapping in a car on one of your videos. So when I was a kid, I used to. So like I said, I used to grow up broke. That was my way into the weed circles. Because everybody, you gotta get weed. And I'd be like, I'll come rap. They'd be like, all right, come on in. I'm like, hit that shit. Yeah. That was my way in. So that's how I got good at that shit. Because I was like, I ain't got no money. I gotta get in here somehow. You have a pretty good entrepreneur mind. Do you like chase business? I noticed because I was looking at like your Instagram and some of your stuff, and it seems like you're a go-getter.
I am a go-getter for sure. I would say so. I think I do have an entrepreneur mindset. I just started a music group called Losing Music Group. And it's not like a rap group. Everyone's like, oh, rap groups never work out. Well, mine's not a rap group. Right now it consists of just independent artists who are passionate and dedicated to helping one another. I know how hard it is as an independent artist to get real support, real fans, and I decided to create a group of people that I've worked with before, artists that I've worked with before. Shout out Ajay Dallas, ONXI, Guapo, Capone, and Brittany. So right now we're just kind of working together to really just help one another. Like we actually got a show coming up in Louisville, Kentucky. Next weekend we're going to Louisville, Kentucky to perform.
Louisville.
I'm so sorry, Louisville, Kentucky.
I'm from Kentucky too. It matters who you're from. It matters where you're from. If you're from Kentucky,
okay.
There's maybe other people outside Kentucky, but when you get down there,
okay.
Be careful over there.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Why? Tell me.
They got some rough areas.
Oh shit! Well, we're only gonna be there for like a day, so.
Well, they got some nice areas too.
Okay.
But they got some pretty rough areas around there.
Okay.
I'm from like an hour and a half. I lived an hour and a half from there.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, we're going out there next weekend to perform, so we're hyped. And then we're also going out to Phoenix, Arizona in July.
Oh, wow. Yeah. A lot of the Latin places.
How is the Latin?
In Kentucky?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah?
A lot.
I was wondering. I was trying to find that out.
A lot. If you're Hispanic in Kentucky, no one will talk English to you.
Really?
Yeah, you have to tell them.
I love this. This is great.
So you're going to walk up and they're going to just automatically start talking Spanish to you. And a lot of times, you'll have to say, oh, English, or just talk Spanish back. Yeah. I went to go to like carnivals. That's something, just to get ADD. You always hear people talk about immigrants and people coming in this country and, we're going to build a wall, all this bullshit, right? But when you go to like the carnivals and you go to Walmart and you go to the mall and you go to Best Buy and all these stores, it's all freaking raza boosting the economy. Think about it. When you go to the mall, what do you see? You don't see a bunch of white people. It's all raza. It's all Hispanic people. You go to a festival. It's all Hispanic people. Go to Walmart. Go look around Walmart. It's all Hispanic people. So like we're boosting the shit out of this economy. Like boosting the shit out of it.
Kentucky though, I was like,
Kentucky, Nah, you would think, but it's ton.
That's my mindset. I'm like,
no.
Kentucky, let's go to Kentucky.
It ain't all like that. It ain't all like that.
I guess we're gonna find out.
They do have their places.
Oh,
but yeah, they do have their places.
I'm actually really happy to hear that though, because I was like, I'm gonna bust out some of my Latin music.
There's a lot of Spanish people there.
So dope. I'm excited.
Big Spanish population. You wouldn't think though, right? Kentucky.
Nah, I thought it was Kentucky, boy.
That's how they do. So it's funny you say that. When I went up for my dad's funeral, and it's called the tri-state area. So it's Kentucky, West Virginia, and Ohio. Mm-hmm. Kentucky, West Virginia, and Ohio, all the country and it's right there. And so that's I lived there for 10 years, whatever. So I pulled in there and I pulled into, I think I went to the bank. And you get so used to Denver, people aren't they don't act the same. They're kind of different. But I pulled up to the bank there, and the lady goes, "Hey, sweetie, what can I do for you this morning?"
That's what I'm expecting the moment we drive right in Kentucky.
Yeah. And so I was like, "Oh, I'm back home." Here they'll be like, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
Or like back home. So something, and I still like a guy just the other day looked at me crazy for doing it, but I wave at everybody. So like when I'm driving down the road, if you pass, hey,
they're probably like, "What?"
Yeah, they were like, "What the fuck?" He was like that to me. I was like, "Oh shit!" But like back home, it's what you do. Like if you see somebody, you wave at them, like, "Hey," or you say, "How are you doing?" Or
well, if you know them,
no, if you don't know them,
that's interesting. I'm the opposite. I'm one of those that's like, "Why are you waving at me?"
Yeah, you'll be like one of those. Yeah, like if I'm in public and we're standing together at a bus stop, I'm gonna ask you how your day is and how you're doing. But when I came to Denver, I was like, "Hey, how y'all doing today?" I was like, "Oh shit,
you can't do that." Yeah, I guess I'm a real Denver native, even though I'm not native. But yeah.
You're pretty much 16 years. Or
that's what people say too.
Yeah.
I did move to LA though for 9 months.
LA, what part?
So in 2021, me and my ex, we moved out to LA. We just grabbed. So I have 3 dogs. We just grabbed my 3 dogs. My little Subaru that I had at the time, we just dipped. I was like, we're just in another shitty point in our lives, and we're just like, fuck it, let's just do it. I mean, we're not getting any younger. So we go out there I'm the only one that has a job, and she's about to get a job, right? And we're doing, what is it called? We're doing Airbnb. So the first place we stay at is San Fernando. I think it's San Fernando or San Bernardino.
San Fernando, those are both places.
Yeah, I know. I think it's San Fernando. So we do an Airbnb there, and then we do another one at, it starts with the R, close to San Fernando. I don't remember the spot. After that, we finally found a spot to live, and you want to know where we lived for 6 months?
Where?
Watts.
You lived in Watts?
Bruh, I didn't even know I didn't know Watts was now I know what Watts is.
You wanted to get robbed?
But no, because it was so hard to find a spot that would take in 3 dogs. I love my dogs. I'm not gonna get rid of my dogs.
Oh, they're like, come on in, Watts.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, cool. I mean, we only got to pay this amount. Let's go. We looked at it. I was like, oh, it's the hood, whatever. And it was a home share, so there was like 5 rooms and different people living in them.
Oh.
But Watts, bro, now there was a shooting almost every day. 2 houses down from where we stayed, someone died from getting shot. And I was like, damn, Watts is like 8 minutes away from Compton.
Yeah. Do you remember Don't Be a Menace or Menace to Society?
I've never seen that movie, but I
Watts.
I've heard. But yeah, I was like, yo, that's crazy. I can't believe I lived out there.
I can't believe I survived.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, during the day, it's whatever. I mean, you see, your drug addicts and whatever. But at nighttime, it's a whole different world. We didn't go out at night. I mean, unless we were driving past it. But it was wild.
It's like a friend of mine from Chicago. I'm on the phone with him the other day. And in the background here, ta 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 ta. And I went, bro, what's going on? Oh, they're shooting over here again. I'm like, well, go inside, motherfucker. Like, what are you doing? Like, they're just numb to it already.
And you know what? It's the 4th of July almost every day too.
Yeah, for sure.
Fireworks almost every night. I'm like, it's November. You would hear and helicopters almost every night too. I was just like, this is wild. We're really living this lifestyle.
And he came and said, fuck that, came back.
Yeah, it was too much. It's just so expensive. That too. I mean, we could have kept going.
It is. It's
super expensive. And then our landlord, so how I told you, we moved out 2021 and we came back the beginning of 2022. And during that time, you know how a lot of people were doing that COVID relief?
Oh, yeah.
So everyone in that house was paying the landlord, but she wasn't paying no one. She was just
keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And so one day, one of the residents like opened up the mail, and she owed like, I don't know, thousands of dollars, and they were about to like take the home over. And so we were like, oh, we gotta go. Yeah, it was crazy. So then we just ended up moving back here. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Great experience though.
Well. All right, back at you with our break. So that's usually what I say to get back into. You're like,
I'm like shit.
I go fast. Man, you've really kind of, you talk about like trauma and stuff, but you've kind of had a pretty eventful life. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to repeat it back to you.
Sure,
and I won't be into detail with some of the stuff. But you were born in America. You moved to Colombia till you were 4 years old. You lived in a refugee camp in Finland until you came to America. Then you moved to Denver. You started music. You got multiple songs, multiple videos out right now. You're about to go on a tour to freaking Kentucky to perform your music. And then you can turn around and go down to Phoenix to perform your music. So now that is not local artists. That is a nationwide artist, so like hitting them levels, right?
Yeah.
So as you're climbing these levels, what do you want to tell the people listening and your fans and the people who have heard your story and your life and what I just said? What message do you have for them? And when you say it right in that red dot right there.
Oh man, the message I got is, honestly, sounds cliche, but truly believe in yourself. It's okay to doubt yourself, of course, but just don't give up. And if you're fighting depression and if you're fighting anxiety, just know you can overcome it. You're not alone. And those demons that do try to help you sink, just know you're a lot stronger than them. It's all up here. It's really, truly all up here, and you can get through it.
That is very true.
That's all I got. I don't know.
I
didn't think much about it.
Well, you did want to talk about that.
I did. And thank you. Thank you so much.
No, because I think it's hard sometimes. Life's a bitch, ain't it? Sometimes
life is a huge bitch.
God, and then people expect shit out of you. And
they do, man.
The pressure.
God, they do. They expect so much out of you.
And there's a pressure with like the success that you're finding. There's a pressure that comes with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm starting to see some different sides of pressure.
Yeah. It takes broad shoulders.
Oh my God.
But you got to be strong mentally. And
you do.
I can see it in you. You got it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I thank you for coming and talking to me.
Thank you for inviting me. I needed this today. I really, truly needed to vent. And I feel a lot lighter than when I came in.
Good.
I felt like I had a lot of weight on my back. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, you know why? It's because this is country. So I might say some country stuff. I might have to, it's because you got broad shoulders. So what I mean is, if you got broad shoulders, you could take the world on your back. You know what I mean? So the saying that we used to say back home is, if they'll be like, say something silly, like you break some, and I go, Telly did it. Well, you will say, well, it's okay. I got broad shoulders. I could take it.
I see.
You know
I like
I mean?
that. That's dope.
Yeah. So it's all right.
I do have broad shoulders, though. Oh, God in heaven.
Does this say fighter?
It does.
I'm telling you. God damn.
That's why I got, I got that tatted for that reason. Because I'm a fighter, man. I fight for what I want. I fight for what I believe in. And I fight for what's right in my mind.
Yeah. Well, if you're not going to fight for it, no one else is. In this world, nobody going to give you nothing. Nobody gonna give you nothing.
No one's giving me nothing. I want to say that real quick. I have not got anything handed to me. Everything that you guys see and hear is all from hard work. 100%. 100%. Nothing has ever been easy for me. On God in heaven. Shit.
And you did it, though.
I'm doing it. I haven't done it yet, but I'm doing it. I'm getting close, I think.
No, you are.
I hope so. I hope so. Maybe the next time you talk to me, I'll be like, man, I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
We bring you back.
Yeah.
We bring you back. Update.
Yeah.
Update. Tell it. Well, you don't have. Damn, I'm so old. I was about to say yo MTV Raps.
Shit. They're gonna be like, what?
The fuck is that? Rap City? What the fuck is Rap City? Do you know what Rap City is?
I don't.
Oh God.
But I know.
Google it.
I will.
They used to have you talk about freestyling. They used to bring in every artist. And the artist used to have to freestyle at the end.
No, don't do that to me.
Yeah, I'm talking about Snoop, Wu-Tang, Old Dirty, all those guys have been under.
What was this? What show was this?
Rap City, The Basement.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's like when I was growing up, they used to have the session. The host used to come in there and they used to just freestyle at the end. Do you like 90s rap?
I'll listen to it here and there. I mean, I listen to Biggie for sure. I prefer Biggie.
He was in there before.
Yeah.
You over Tupac?
I do.
What? You're on the West Coast. What's?
I don't know why, but I do. I just like the way his flow is, his cadence. Yeah, I just do.
Yeah, he does have. I think nowadays that your generation and the younger generation are way more versatile. I just think they're less lyrical. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Nobody
100%.
would spit in the way they spit nowadays.
No, I agree.
Like they're way more versatile. They're better rappers.
I agree 100% with you.
Yeah. They're just not saying shit.
No, it's not. There's no storytelling anymore.
Yeah.
It's more of just facts. Just like, I'll say this sentence, and then the next sentence, it's just going to rhyme with it. Typically, that's kind of what it is. Rap is now. It's not really a storytelling.
Make you move.
Yeah, it's just, it's a vibe.
Right.
But there are some local artists out here, though, that are good storytellers. Tap in.
Who? Telly? Don't be modest. Don't be modest.
No. I'm not. I'm gonna be 100%. I'm not really a storyteller. I mean, I should probably maybe get into that. But I'm really not. I don't think
relatable though, because I feel like when I be hearing like your music, when it would like
I'll say. Oh man, I don't want to.
No, I want to say. There's this one part you say. And I could hear my soldiers, or God, what do you say?
Wait, for which?
Something about some color in Colorado.
Oh,
and they my soldiers. Something like my soldiers. Maybe it's a different song.
Maybe I'd have to.
I want to send it to you. But I
don't even know my own song.
That goes back to what you talked about earlier.
I swear I'm so bad at that. But I swear I write my own stuff. No one writes my shit. I swear to God.
Yeah, I believe.
But I'm horrible at that.
I'm going to send it to you. But like I said, I thank you for taking time out of your day.
Yeah, thank you.
And sitting down with me and sharing your story. Guys, make sure you go check her out. Make sure you subscribe to her YouTube channel. Yes. Make sure you follow her on IG. Links will be below. So make sure you check all that stuff out. My girl travels. So if you're looking to book an artist, hit her up. She'll shoot you the quotes and the prices.
Yes, sir.
Artists, if you're looking for a fly ass hook, and you want to put a Latin twist on your fly ass hook, because I'm telling you right now, that's hot right now. Mm-hmm. If you want to take advantage of that, reach out to her, and make sure you show your support. All right. This is my end rant. I always rant at the end of these things. Sure. This is my end rant, but and I said a little bit about this in the beginning, but the whole point. Let me start over. We had a pot guy come in here and he told me, why don't you pay for guests? You could blow up really big if you pay for a guest. But if it was up to me and I had $1,000 just say to pay for a guest, I'd rather take somebody who is just a regular person like me and put that $1,000 into them and give them the platform to show. Because no matter what you see on IG and YouTube and Facebook, all that shit's fucking fake, man. People are just setting images up for what you to see. Mm-hmm. And this platform is for people to see people's real lives and for people to understand one another and to get along. We have so much division in this country. We have so much people who don't get along for the stupidest reasons because they believe different things. People could believe wherever the freak they want to believe. If you respect each other's beliefs, as long as they're not hurting people or doing injustices, then you can get along with that person. I feel like I could talk to anybody, whether what their political beliefs are, what religion they are, because I understand that we're all different and we're not the same. And if God made us all the same, the world would be a very boring place. So make sure you tap into this podcast so that you could connect to people, hear people's stories, and realize that we all pretty much grew up the same a little bit, but we all have a different stroke and a different vibe to kick. And as long as we all come together, then we could vibe it out together. All right. So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow me. And if you have an interesting story, DM me, reach out to me. I will get back to you. This is the C-Rod Tell Me a Story podcast, episode 21. And I'm out, bitch.